Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential wildcard draft for Game Week 5. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment. Are you thinking of wildcarding anytime soon? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So starting things off, in goal we do have Raya and Ward. I've been saying for the last few weeks, we've been making a couple of wildcards over the last few weeks. I've had Raya on every single one just because they have bad fixtures over the next couple from Game Week 4 to Game Week 6. Doesn't mean you should go without him, and he did get that 8-9 pointer against Spurs. I know they've got City away in Game Week 5. That is the worst fixture they can possibly have on paper, but you're going to want an Arsenal defender for Game Week 6 onwards. Everybody that's wildcarding in Game Week 6 is going to have either Raya or Saliba or Gabriel or somebody like that. Raya is the cheapest way into that defense, and honestly has been getting a ridiculous amount of bonus points as well. So I just think Raya has to be a staple on a wildcard draft, because you're going to need an Arsenal defender, because they're just going to they're going to keep clean sheets, probably 3 in the next 4 fixtures. Like, I could definitely see them keeping clean sheets against Leicester and Southampton, maybe Bournemouth away, probably not City away, but that could either be like a snooze fest and it could end 0-0. And if that's the case, then Raya has just been absolutely ridiculous. Take a look at his points from the start of the season. He's come out with points in every fixture apart from the Brighton game, and that's only because of the red card. He got 8 against Wolves, 10 against Villa, 9 against Spurs, 2 against Brighton. But like I say, that's only because of the Declan Rice red card. Without that, they'd probably keep a clean sheet in that fixture as well. So I just think it'd be silly not to go with some sort of Arsenal defender on a wild card in Game Week 5. But the cheapest one is Raya, and yeah, I personally would like. There's no other keeper that I would even consider than Raya. I know that he's a bit more pricey than your 4.5 mils, but he's going to be getting your returns constantly throughout the season. You just set and forget as well. He's going to be playing every fixture. You don't have to worry about that. So that's Raya. Also got Ward as well, just as a 4 mil goalkeeper. Again, there's not really any 4 mil playing goalkeepers this season, so you just have to go with one that's going to be bench fodder. So those are the goalkeepers. At the back, it's not very strong at the back. I understand that completely, but there's not really any defenses that I kind of like the look of over the next sort of 4 or 5 fixtures, barring teams like City and stuff. But again, they're all really expensive defenders. But we've gone Keane, Aina, Veltman, Collins, and Konza. So Keane is a 4 mil defender. Obviously, Everton have been shocking so far from a defensive standpoint, but the fixtures are really, really nice for Everton, and he's not somebody you're going to be playing every single week. You know, they've got Leicester away this week, could easily play him then. They've got Crystal Palace at home, who haven't been too good either. They've got Ipswich coming up, Fulham coming up. Like, the fixtures are just good. He's going to be bench fodder, but if you have to play him, he's a 4 mil playing centre-back. He's got a bullet header in him. I would personally have him on a wildcard draft just as that kind of, I guess there's a backup just in case something bad happens. So he's there, 4 mil, really, really good option in my opinion. We've got Aina as well for Forest, 4.4 mil. Did have a price drop. I don't really know why. Forest defensive numbers have been ridiculously good. As a Forest fan, it's great to see. And we have some really nice fixtures coming up. Obviously, I don't think we've barely conceded any goals over the kind of the 4 fixtures we had so far. We've conceded 1 against Bournemouth, and we conceded 1 against Wolves, and the Wolves goal was a bit of a wonder goal anyway. But apart from that, Southampton away, Liverpool away, obviously kept a clean sheet there, and we've had under an XGC of 1 in every fixture as well. 0.55 against Bournemouth, 0.14 against Southampton. They barely created anything against us. Wolves was a 0.74. Liverpool was a 0.94, but still under 1. So the defensive numbers for Forest have been really, really good. Aina's minutes have been pretty decent as well. Only got 53 minutes against Bournemouth, but 90 against Southampton, 90 against Wolves, 90 against Liverpool. Obviously played ridiculously well against Liverpool as well. So I cannot see Aina losing his spot or anything like that. You could go for a 4.5 mil Forest defender like Maria or something like that if you really wanted to, but Aina, I just think over the next few fixtures, you don't have to play him every week, but our numbers are just so good at the back. Like, you could play him against Fulham, play him against Palace, could play him against Brighton, play him against Leicester. Like, all these fixtures very much are in favour of in Forest, in my opinion. So I really like the look of a Forest defender on a wildcard draft going forward from Game Week 5. Also gone Veltman as well, another 4.5 mil defender. The fixtures aren't crazy ideal. You mainly have him just as somebody that you can rotate, because he rotates well with somebody like Collins and players like, they've got Forest at home this week. If you wanted to play like both of them, then you're gonna have to hope for a ball fest of a 0-0. But yeah, obviously you could play somebody like Aina, Konza, and then you could play like Keane this week as well, who's got Leicester away. But yeah, Veltman, again, it could be a different 4.5 mil defender. You could go for somebody like a Van de Ven, who has some pretty nice fixtures over the next few, but Spurs just look really, really leaky at the back. I mean, I can't remember their fixtures off the top of my head. If I get Van de Ven in, I mean, he's got Brentford at home, United away, Brighton away, West Ham at home, and Crystal Palace away. Like, how many goals are they going to concede in those fixtures? I could easily see them not keeping a clean sheet in any of those fixtures, really. So you could go Van de Ven if you wanted to. You could go Van Heck. That really is up to you. Like, it could be any 4.5 mil defender. I've got 0.4 mil in the bank on this. You might have 0.5 mil in the bank depending on your kind of circumstances, and if that's the case, you could bring in a 5 mil defender if you really wanted to. But yeah, Van de Ven, Veltman, Van Heck, anybody like that, really. Just a different 4.5 mil defender, really. And then Collins as well also comes into this Game Week 5 wildcard draft. The fixtures are really nice after Spurs. We've got West Ham, Wolves, and Ipswich in the next 5. All home fixtures, really, really nice there to play him in. And Brentford obviously have looked pretty good this season so far, especially like defensively as well. I understand that they've they conceded a couple of goals, but they have played City, Liverpool. You know, I don't mind them at all as a defensive option. And then Konza as well, another 4.5 mil defender. Some pretty nice fixtures coming up, Wolves and Ipswich in the next 2. Obviously, there's no premium defenders in this. You've got your Arsenal defence obviously sorted with Raya, but in terms of Liverpool and City, there's no defenders there. City have some pretty bad fixtures over the next 2. Liverpool's are okay, but they've got Bournemouth, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal. Like, they don't look great from a defensive standpoint. And if you do have somebody like Trent, it does kind of hurt the rest of the team. So you could go Trent if you wanted to and just downgrade in the midfield or up front, but I personally would just go for like a back 5 like this. Again, it doesn't look great, but it's just so the defense is walking so the rest of the team can run, basically. But either way, that's the defense there. In midfield, we've got Mbumo, who's got Spurs away, Rodgers, who's got Wolves at home, Eze, who's got United at home, Saka, who's got City away, and then Salah, who's got Bournemouth at home. So this would be the midfield that I would play. It does rotate with the forwards as well. This is a 3-4-3 formation or a 3-5-2. It depends, depending on fixtures and stuff. You do have players that rotate relatively nicely. But yeah, Mbumo, I feel like, has to be on a wildcard draft, whether you're wildcarding this week or next week. You know, Spurs away isn't necessarily a bad fixture for Mbumo. On penalties, looks really, really good without Tony. The injury to Wissa might kind of hinder him a little bit, but again, at the same time, Mbumo is just such a good option for 7.1 mil. Definitely on pens as well. It's not going to be like an Eze situation where he might be taking it with somebody else. It's just Mbumo, out and out. He is the penalty taker. 7.1 mil. Numbers are ridiculous without Tony. Would definitely have him on a wildcard draft. Rodgers, just a really good enabler. Again, we don't know how Champions League is going to affect his minutes and stuff, but so far he's played 90 in, I think, every single fixture, so I really like him. As just a pure enabler, 5 mil is, well, he's not 5 mil anymore, he's 5.1. Might be approaching a price rise soon as well to 5.2. But yeah, he's just there so the rest of the team you can obviously bring in these other players. So yeah, he's been unlucky not to return either. He definitely could have had a couple of assists, a couple of attacking returns. They'll definitely come. He's looked really, really good for Villa, and they still have some really nice fixtures coming up as well. And Villa are actually really high in the table as well. It feels like they aren't, because it feels like the results haven't actually been that good, but they've won every game apart from the Arsenal one. So yeah, Villa, I really like Rodgers as an option from there. Got Eze in the team as well. He's currently sitting at 6.9. Yeah, I still don't mind him as an option. He's a little bit worse now that Mateta also takes pens, but for 6.9, I think he's still a really nice option. You could downgrade him if you really wanted to. Bring in a Smith Rowe for 5.6, 5.7 if you really wanted to, and then that would give you a little bit of extra money for the kind of defenders if you wanted to go that route. So if I bring in Smith Rowe here, you know, he's 5.6, 5.7. It gives you 1.7 mil in the bank. So you could then use that to upgrade a Veltman to maybe a Robertson or something like that. If you wanted to, because like I say, the midfield does kind of rotate with the strikers pretty well. So if you wanted to do something like that, bring in a 6 mil defender, you bring in Robertson, you could bring in Gvardiol from City, but Gvardiol was just benched, so I probably wouldn't go there. So that's another way you could go, because Smith Rowe has been really, really good this season as well. I really, really like him as another enabler. Obviously, you've also got like Minty and Semenyo, other players around that price point, but for me, Smith Rowe, I think, now he's getting his minutes up again. Like he's slowly getting there, like 63, 68, 71, 72. He's slowly getting to 90 minutes, and he's looked really, really good under Fulham. Like the goal they scored against West Ham, I feel like that was all made by Smith Rowe. So I really like him, and yeah, if you wanted to go that way, if you didn't want to go Eze, because the fixtures aren't incredible for Palace, then you could always downgrade Smith Rowe, upgrade the defence, go Robertson instead. We've also gone Saka as well, obviously currently flagged. We'll get more information about that through the week anyway, because we've got Champions League and stuff coming up. I'm sure he'll be fine. I feel like Saka's always got a knock, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. But obviously after City, just really, really nice fixtures. And he's on set pieces, he's on penalties, he's just an absolutely great option to have. He did actually get a price drop from 10.1 to 10, which obviously wasn't ideal. But at the same time, if you were bringing him in now, then that's obviously better because you're saving 0.1. And then Salah's on this draft as well, just simply because I know that he didn't play great against Forest, but before that, he's had a ridiculous start to the season. And the fixtures, again, I mean, any fixture is good for Salah, really. He can play well in any fixture. But yeah, Bournemouth, Wolves, Palace, and Chelsea coming up. Again, I think I definitely want to own Salah for those fixtures. So that's the midfield. And then up top, we've gone João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin, and Haaland. Haaland just speaks for itself. You just can't go without Haaland this season. I don't even care. Like, you just can't. He's just been ridiculous. He's scored 9 goals. He scored more goals than every other team. You know, not any other player, but every other team. So, what? Like, there's just no argument against him. Like, there just isn't. He's just too good. He's too important this season. Yeah, like I said, I'm not even going to talk about him. Like, there's no argument for going against him. So, yeah, we've gone João Pedro and Calvert-Lewin. So, this might be a little bit shaky. Obviously, João Pedro is currently injured. I think he'll be fine for the Forest fixture. If he's not, then maybe we revisit this. You could go for somebody like a Jamie Vardy. He's also 5'7". And Vardy's fixtures are actually pretty nice. They do have Arsenal away in game week 6, but apart from that, they've got Everton at home, Bournemouth at home, Southampton away, and Forest at home. So if João Pedro is out, then you just go for Vardy instead, who's obviously got some really nice fixtures. But I just like that Vardy, Calvert-Lewin, Rodgers, and Smith Rowe, you can rotate all these 4 players. So you'll be playing, like, every week, you'll be playing somebody like Robertson, Konza and Collins. Let's just say you play those every week, and then you play Mbeumo, Saka, or Salah every week, and then you play Haaland every week. So that's a 3-3-1. So you'd have to make that 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 every week. So you can either play, like, let's say game week 6 rolls around or something, you play, I don't know, you don't play Vardy obviously because he's got Arsenal away, so instead you play Smith Rowe, Rodgers, and Calvert-Lewin. And then maybe game week, and then in game week 5, let's say you play, you don't want to play Smith Rowe, who's got Newcastle at home. You've got Vardy, who's got Everton at home, Rodgers, who's got Wolves at home, and then Calvert-Lewin, that's got Leicester away. So these 4 rotate really well, and it's just a really strong bench, in my opinion. They're all relatively cheap as well. Again, if you want to go João Pedro instead, I don't mind João Pedro in any fixture, really. He's got Chelsea away, Spurs at home, and Newcastle away in the next 5, but I think he's capable of scoring in any of those fixtures. He's on penalties as well. I believe Vardy, I'm not sure, but I think Vardy's probably still on penalties as well. Calvert-Lewin might also be on penalties. I'm not 100% sure about that either. Obviously, Everton have been so bad, and going into this wildcard draft with 2 Everton players isn't ideal. But the fixtures are just so good, especially from an attacking standpoint. Like Leicester away, Palace at home, Newcastle at home, Ipswich away, Fulham at home, Southampton away, West Ham away, Brentford at home. You know, they've got a ridiculous run of fixture. And I understand the injury problems with Calvert-Lewin, but he's been getting minutes, you know, 75, 71, 87, 90. If he's fit, he's going to play. And, you know, he has got a couple of goals this season so far as well. So I don't mind Calvert-Lewin as an option at all. And that's the kind of wildcard draft that I would go with on game week 5. I think it'd be very similar for game week 6 as well. I don't think it would change that much. Maybe you get rid of João Pedro, but again, I think he can play in any fixture. So yeah, that's the kind of wildcard draft I would go with on game week 5. So if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment. Would you go with this kind of draft if you are going to wildcard? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, peace.